What's good? It was good. It was good. A great Saturday morning, afternoon, whatever time it is now. Um, we're gonna do another little review. This one is on a pistol that I purchased to teach my son how to begin shooting pistols. And as he became more familiar with the gun and started to have better results shooting with the gun, I started to train my other nieces and nephews um, on the same particular firearm. Now, straight out the box, the firearm is a tremendous, phenomenal, a great gun to have to anybody's collection just to get out there and do a little bit of plinking. Um, and to be able to teach anybody for the first time shooter, in my opinion. All right. So what we're going to look at is not fresh out the box anymore. It has been customized to my liking as well as my son's liking, to have the gun for us. You know, anything that we get or I get, I try to make sure that it can be customized to fit more of what our intended purposes are for the particular firearm. All right. So what we're looking at here is the Tx-22. The Tx-22. My son called it his Space Force gun. Completely emptied. Completely empty. All right. The Tx-22 comes fresh out the box with two 15-round magazines. In my area, some of those magazine compliance states, they come with the 10-round magazine. All right. What we've done with the gun so far is we went with quite a few different little tandem cross parts. One of the first things that we did that wasn't tandem cross was go with I want to say it was from Galloway Precision, a new steel guide rod. The guide rod that originally comes fresh out of the box with the gun is a polymer guide rod, which after about 900 rounds, I started to notice a little bend in the polymer guide rod and said, I have to find something that's going to help the gun be more reliable and stay extremely functional for our intended purpose. So we did the research and we found this all steel guide rod. I want to say it was from Galloway Precision, but it might have been from Lakeland. So that was about 25, 30 bucks. All right. So that was the first thing that we've done. The next thing that we've done to the gun was add in some of our tandem cross parts. All right. The tandem cross parts that we chose to go with, my son wanted a compensator after he noticed the compensator for the PO7. He wanted a compensator to match. So we did the research. Tandem cross has actually two. They have this one, which is the Game Changer, and then they have one called the Game Changer Pro, I think. But the compensator allowed the gases to all go out of the front and, you know, allow the little tiny bit of recoil that was there to really fully disappear. All right. The next thing that we went with was the little charging latch thing here, just to make it easier for my nieces. That was added after I took one of my nieces out shooting and she was unable to really get a good grip on here to rack the gun. So I went back to Tandem Cross. I saw that they had this little latch here, and I ordered that latch, which actually makes the gun a whole lot more funner to shoot, because when you get to the range and you need to charge real quick, it's just a quick pull, you know, and you can grab that thing in multiple different ways. It's just multiple ways you can grab that little latch to get around into the chamber and go ahead and begin your shooting. All right. Now, one product that we did get and that we ended up taking back off and putting the factory back on was the Tandem Cross. I think it was called the Victory Trigger. We got the Victory Trigger. We shot and played around with it. We probably used about 1,000 rounds with it. And my son said, Dad, I don't like flat triggers. Plain and simple. I let him kind of, come up with if he likes flat triggers or not. I'm not a big fan of them myself, but he said with the flat trigger, it just doesn't feel the same in his hands, and it wasn't as comfortable, so he wanted the curved trigger put back on. So we did that. Put that curved trigger back on. Also, what I went with was the Tandem Cross Eagle Talon Extractor. Fathead. Get out, man. The Eagle Talon Extractor just makes the gun more reliable to extract the spent cartridge. And when we added that on, we noticed that we had less little stovepipes using cheaper ammunition, like some of the Winchester, what is it, 353 bulk box stuff. Like this gun hated it until we added that new extractor, and it started to run even more smoothly. So that was one of the major come-ups for that. Now, with that being said, the original factory one, people, please, somebody said, yo, what did you do with it? When they hit me up not long ago, what did you do with the factory one? Did you throw it away? I threw mine away. I said, no. You keep those parts, because those are your extra parts. If something is to break down, you can still put it back into the gun and help your gun still to run until you get a new part in. All right. The other thing that we went with is for the actual magazine, and it's this. Remember, the original magazine comes with 15 rounds. If you're in one of those free states, they come with 15 rounds. And the Eagle, not the Eagle, the Wingman +5 bumper, which is this piece here, allows you to add 5 more rounds to your 15 round magazine already. And with this thing, I'm telling you, a lot of people said they hated it. I love it. It runs smooth. It pushes the rounds up like it's supposed to. It lowers the rounds in like it's supposed to. It's none of that tapping or anything required. You just load the thing up, put it in, charge your handle, and you get to shooting. All right. What else did we do to this thing? The front fiber optic sight. I chose to go with a front fiber optic only because the rear sights, they're decent. They're decent. So we didn't need to do anything extra to that. We just added that little bit. Let me see if I can get it in there. There you go. See the little bit of difference. You got the two back ones that we actually colored a little yellow, and then you have that green right in the front to help you grab your sight picture extremely quickly. All right, and the last thing that I did to this gun was just add that super grip to it. And the super grip, I'm not a big fan of it myself, because I'm able to get a good grip on this pistol. But for my son, he seems to like it. He said on the hot days that we're out there and his hands get to sweating, he said it just helps him keep a reliable grip on the gun. So I guess it's a plus for him. And that's about all that we did with the gun. But the Tx-22, in my opinion, is definitely worth the money. I've let other people shoot this gun before, and from them shooting this gun, they ended up going out and purchasing one themselves. Now, a lot of people have been asking me also about the Tx-22 competition gun. Do I think it's a difference in the gun? Do I think the gun runs more reliably? To be honest, I've shot 2 of them by two different people owned them. Those 2 different people did 2 different things to them, added triggers and different little pieces to the gun. And once I put this into their hands and let them shoot this one, they told me themselves, and I agreed with them, there's no real difference in the gun. The only difference in the gun is the slide window cutout. And if you have looked at the gun before, what they actually did was, you see this mark here, or it's better to see it on this side. You see that groove there? They started there and they just cut all that out and kept this thin piece here and just took that all the way back and came back up here. That's all they did. They just cut the top of it out to give it a different look, but it fires the same, it runs the same, it's the same exact gun other than that slide cutout. I didn't see any difference. Like, I've taken that slide off and I've stuck it onto this gun, and we still didn't see any difference. The differences come when you start to customize the internals, your guide rod, your triggers, and things of that sort, and getting rounds through the gun to really break the gun in. Keeping things polished up is where it made the real difference. All right. But other than that, the Tx-22, this Space Force gun, as my son calls it, is a badass little gun for a 22 long rifle. Would I say this is a carry gun for anybody? I've seen a couple people actually carrying the Tx-22, but me in this configuration, I mean, like, look how big that shit is. This is a big ass gun. I wouldn't carry this on me personally, but it might be like a little extra backpack pistol when we're going out on hikes or things of that sort. But it's definitely a fun little plinker to go ahead and shoot and have around. Much love, much respect. Let me get back out here in this garden, and I'll talk to you on the next one.